Charlton will be glad to see the back of 2015. The prospects for 2016 don't seem overly cheery. Mind you, Callum Harriott did his best to try and lift the gloom that 2 wins out of 21 brings. Contrast that with the Forest side unbeaten in 7. So when Ben Osborn opened his account for the season, all was going according to plan for Dougie Freedman's men. A rare Charlton win might have taken them out of the relegation zone, but they had to equalise first, and that was just beyond Simon Makienok. But when the Dane was given a second sight of goal shortly afterwards, thanks to good work from the busy Harriott, he wasn't quite so generous. An extraordinary 11-minute substitute's appearance from Holmes-Dennis didn't help the home cause. He took 3 bites at the Osborn cherry before collecting a second yellow card. Despite that, Charlton might still have snatched an unlikely win had Harriott been able to find a way past Doris de Vries. But they need to start winning again, and soon.
Probably a decent point, that, for your former club, Charlton, Chris Powell, but off the field, real unrest. There were fans' protests before and largely afterwards, as we can see here on this footage on social media. Do you have sympathy for the fans?
I do. Obviously, I was there at the initial takeover, and it was only a matter of time before I moved on. There's been 4 managers since. And what I just don't understand with such a proud club like Charlton is where are they heading? What is the end game for the owner? I mean, he's never said to the fans, he's never really said to the players, I believe. Maybe he has privately, but I really don't understand exactly where they're heading. And obviously now there's unrest with the supporters.
And that, I think, is the question that the fans are asking. Guy Luzon sacked at the end of October, still not properly been replaced. An interim manager is in there, no chief scout, no director of football. If you're a Charlton fan, what are you thinking?
Well, what you would think is you'd look at the setup when they're in the Premier League. It didn't go too well. I was fortunate enough to bring them back up, League One champions. We started to get the club back to exactly where I felt the fans wanted to be. The infrastructure was there. There was plans for a training ground, which I believe are still going ahead, but the fans don't want that. What the fans want is a team that they go and see week in, week out, home and away, trying to progress, trying to actually get to somewhere which, you know, as everyone knows, when you're in the Championship, you want to be in the Premier League. And I just feel they feel there's no direction. Good people, decent people, but they've lost a lot of very key people, not only on the playing staff, but also just the way the club's run. And now the fans are, you know, they're going to vote with their feet. They really will. And it'll only be a matter of time before they boycott games.
As part of these protests today, I think we're just going to see now the fans were chanting your name. I don't know how that makes you feel. You're clearly, just listening to you, very passionate about this club.
It's quite a good timing that I'm hearing that. But, well, I mean, they obviously know it's a club that's been a large part of my life, in my playing career, and also as a coach and a manager.
Would you go back to try and sort the situation out if they wanted you to?
Possibly.
Would things have to be different?
Well, I would say you cannot walk in having 4 managers in just over 18 months. And nothing's changed, and actually it's deteriorating. You've got to look at the squad, you've got to look at the direction, you've got to have everything in place to have a go to try and get yourself back to the promised land, which, as everyone knows, is the Premier League.
Chris, it's been great having you in tonight. You're always welcome.
Thank you.